Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Planet Tyro. I'm your host, Donald Wonder, and you're back here with me for the Year of Lupin 2016. Last time we spoke about 1995's movie Farewell to Nostradamus. This year we move on to 1996's Dead or Alive. So, as it's 2016 now, and this Lupin movie was made in 1996, that would make this technically the 20th anniversary for this movie, and the next Lupin movie, which was also made in 1996. So it's an interesting time to talk about this movie. Happy anniversary, Dead or Alive. And being even more special, this movie is particularly noteworthy for having the mangaka being one of the directors, well, kind of the main director for this movie, Monkey Punch. Yes, we got the director on to make this particular movie. And it didn't turn out too great because apparently the mangaka has said in interviews that this was one of the most stressful times of his life due to all the scheduling conflicts, and as a result, he couldn't actually direct the whole movie. He only directed the first part and the last part of the movie, and ironically, when you see the movie, that's actually pretty apparent that there's some inconsistency with the movie. So let's start with the plot of the movie. So the movie starts with an interesting jail heist that Lupin gets some people out of jail, which was a bit baffling at first, but that's brought up a bit later. After the jail heist, you find out Lupin is searching for this hidden ship, this buried sunken ship, because apparently it's got a lot of gold in that ship. So him and the team, Jigen and Goemon, get on the ship, and when they get on the ship, when they get close to the vault of where all this gold is on this sunken ship, this crazy nanotechnology AI, murderous AI just attacks all of them, chases them out of the ship, and Lupin has to lick his wounds and figure out what is this secret, super intelligent defense AI, who built it, and how can he get in the ship to get the treasure. And that ties in with the plot with this royal family, which actually is the owners of the treasure on the sunken ship. This royal family is kind of like it's a fictional land, but let's just call it Israel or whatever. This royal family is having some weird turmoil, this political intrigue that's a big part of the story. But basically, I don't want to get into spoilers. Long story short, this royal family is having this very bad war, very cultural thing. Lupin needs to find, apparently someone of the royal family knows the secrets to getting past this AI, getting the treasure. It's got to do with this princess, it's got to do with this crazy ruler of the land, and it's also got to do with this side character the movie focuses on a lot, which is a little bit surprising, kind of comes out of the blue, and it all, I don't want to get into spoilers, but it all ties down to the sunken treasure and this royal family and this whole incident with this royal family and this land. But long story short, what did I think of the movie? This movie has a lot going for it, but probably a lot more things going against it. The animation overall is good, but is inconsistent. And that's because, as I said, the Monkey Punch mangaka is involved in the first part, which is the jail escape, which is really good, really dynamic, really well animated. And the last bit, which has to do with the final encounter with this mad AI defense and the bad guy and the gold again. So the beginning and the anime is very fast paced, but the middle part is the story is slow, so it doesn't help with the animation. But the animation they don't really do anything much with it, so it's not very even. And even when they're not doing anything, the landscape of this island or this town or this country, it's okay. There's a lot of dark scenes in the anime as well, which doesn't really help dark action, but it's okay. Another point is the AI that I'm talking about, this defensive AI, it actually uses some CG elements that I don't know if it's rendered very well. It looks kind of off. Sometimes it looks cool, but sometimes it sticks out from the 2D animation. So the 2D animation is inconsistent. As I said, Monkey Punch did the first and the second half, and the middle part was done by assistant directors. And to be honest with you, it hurts the story as well. Because as I said, at first Lupin is trying to get the treasure. Then they focus on this whole land and the people and this Lord Tyrant. And then they bring up this princess who's meant to help Lupin. But then you find out the princess has very little to do with the story, and instead it's got to do with this other woman who's like a soldier who's being manipulated, and the movie takes a big chunk of the story on her, and her story is meh. It's just meh, and it all wraps around to the end. Honestly, I'm gonna cut this really short. This movie is very inconsistent in a lot of ways, but there's two things that stand out for it. Firstly, it's the monkey punch element, which I've already mentioned. His animation, whenever he's involved, the beginning and the end, very stand out, especially the end. But the second part, which was very actually interesting, was Inspectors in the Gutter. Inspectors in the Gutter is usually a throwaway gag kind of character we all laugh at. He's chasing Lupin. Lupin just always just makes a fool out of him. In this movie, for the first time, he's actually very competent as a foil for Lupin. He actually messes with Lupin's plans multiple times. He's actually a badass, in my opinion, and he's actually very, very just likable. He's actually not a throwaway character. I'm like, if Zenigata was implemented as a legitimate foil more of the time, it would actually make the Lupin movies more enjoyable. So he's a shining point. And to be honest with you, at the very end, the very last encounter back at the ship, the story has a bit of a twist that kind of illuminates something. I was like, oh, okay, that woke me up. Because honestly, I was kind of falling asleep. It was kind of a snooze. It's like, oh, I've seen this before. This movie actually reminded me of the Hemingway Papers. If you remember that movie, there's a lot of similarities between this and the Hemingway Papers, but I was bored through most of this movie. But that last bit, where there was a bit of a twist with Lupin, I was like, oh, Lupin did something that was a little bit underhanded, but it was believable to his character. And I liked it, and it woke me up. And again, the last bit with the big climactic battle, I liked it. It was good. It woke me up. But did it save the movie on the whole? Yes and no. There's things about this movie that work really well. There's things that don't. But overall, if you could sum up this movie in one word, it's inconsistent. So it's a bit disappointing. It's been 20 years. Has it aged well? I don't know. I would give it the rating of acquired taste, to be honest with you. Watch this if you're a diehard Lupin fan and you want to watch the monkey punch element. You want to see the director, the original mangaka, get involved to do a movie. And it's a shame that he never got involved again and he had such a bad time, because his scenes are the best in this movie. And this movie has a I would say decent plot, but we've seen it, like I said, the Hemingway Papers had a very similar plot to this, so it's really hard for me to say it had potential with the plot, because I was a bit disappointed with the plot as well. So overall, it's one you diehard should watch, but it's kind of forgettable. I have to be blunt. And looking at the feedback from the fans, from the review sites, Mind Release, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, it's all over the place. People love this, they hate it, they think it's forgettable. Me, myself, I just think if you're a diehard, check it out. This has a really good name, Dead or Alive. You would think this was a movie about Lupin being hunted or being on the chase, but the movie doesn't really live up to the name. It's a shame. It's kind of misrepresentation, which is kind of silly for me to just base something off a name. But I don't know. I was kind of hyped for this movie because I heard so many good things. And lastly, this movie was one I saw back in the day advertised in multiple languages. It's one of the movies people had early access to. It was advertised in the 90s. You could see in different countries, different regions. So a lot of people had the first exposure to Lupin through this movie as well. And I saw it on the shelf. I never watched it till recently, I'm not going to lie. But the English dub by Funimation was okay. But I don't want to ramble on and on. I was a little bit disappointed. I was expecting more. Tell me what you think about it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Leave a comment down below. Is Dead or Alive one of your favorites? Do you agree that it's a bit of a mishmash, a bit of a mess? I want to know your thoughts, so, share your opinions. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the discussion. Hit that subscribe button to get more content, to join us on the Year of Lupin as we go on and find out all the other features in the Lupin series, as well as the TV series, as well as the TV series is, well, I'm slurring my words, which I'll get into in the future. But also hit the annotations on the right to all the other stuff we do at Planet Tyro for movies, TV shows, books, what have you. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace out.